Today's golf lesson is on putting, on highlighting the three biggest mistakes that most amateur golfers make on the putting greens. Now, these aren't technical issues like alignment or grip. These are simple choices that you can correct right now to improve your putting. And if you 3 and 4 putt very often, then after watching this video, you're going to understand why. Now, the first of our 3 choices, our processes, is going to do with the art of green reading. And we start that process as we walk up to the green right now. G'day golfers, I'm Glenn Haynes. Welcome to Aussie Golf Pros, where we help you be the best golfer you can be. So the first huge mistake that amateur golfers make is in green reading, underestimating the power of the slope. See, gravity is a very strong force, but unfortunately, when golfers get a putter in their hands, they seem to forget that. So we see downhill putts go too far, uphill putts are often left short of the hole, and on side hill putts, up to 80% of putts miss on the low side. It's really important to take into consideration the power of gravity, the power of the slope on the greens. Now, most greens are tilted towards you. Now, reading a green is like reading a book. You want to tilt the book towards you to read it. If it's tilted away or to the side, you're not going to read it as well. So with the green tilted towards us like this one is, it makes sense to start to read the green as we walk up to it. Get a sense that the green is going to go from here. You can see that it's from the back left down to the front right, and it's tilted towards us. So if it was raining very heavily, the water would be running down into this area here. And that's exactly what they expect the golf ball to do as well. So just this sense of the overall tilt of the green is very important, because it's going to help us to read putts when we get up closer. Most golfers, unfortunately, just have a quick look from behind the ball, and they don't really get a sense of what the green is going to do to the golf ball. And it's going to give you a good 3D image of the putt. As we surveyed the green walking up, all of the water would run down into that corner, so that's what we expect the ball to do. Visualize the entire break of the putt. The ball's going to start curving as soon as it's rolling, not just at the end. So I'd much rather you miss on the high side with the ball going around the hole, rather than miss on the low side with the ball tracking down the hill. Very easy to leave yourself a 6-7 foot putt coming back up if you miss low. So visualize, if anything, a bit too much break, because on a steep slope like this, that ball will curve. Let's get it high enough. And if anything, you're going to leave yourself a tap in for your second putt. And that's really going to help you with that green reading process, to visualize the entire putt. Exaggerate it. Let's make sure we're prepared for gravity. Too soft. So then what do? Hit it harder. Now it's too hard. Raise your hand if you've done that. Of course you have. Why? Because you're judging your distance based on hitting the ball softer and harder. That's not the way to do it. It's much easier to control your tempo, control your pace based on how long the stroke is. So for short putts and downhill putts, it should be a short stroke. And then for longer putts and uphill putts, same tempo, but a longer stroke. That's much easier to judge the distance, and that's how the tour pros do it. You don't want to be decelerating and accelerating on your putts. It's a variable that's going to make it difficult for you to judge. So what we want here is it takes some experience and some practice, of course, but have a practice swing and work out how long the swing should be. Now this is a little bit uphill, a little bit of right to left. So if we can get the right length of swing, then we can keep the tempo the same, and we can judge the distance much more accurately. It's as easy as that. Judge your distance with the length of the stroke, not by trying to hit putts softer and harder. I know that sounds simple, but in reality, it's going to be much easier for you to judge. The third real big mistake that we see in pro-ams and in club competitions by amateur golfers is a lack of commitment. A lack of commitment to the follow-through, a lack of consistency. So the sorts of follow-throughs that we see, something like this, where the putter snatches behind here like this, or it might quit on it, or the big long follow-through like this, maybe a snatch back. there's no commitment there, there's no consistency. And they're forms of anxiety. The putter, the player is worried about what the ball's doing and very performance focused. We want to focus on the process. So the process is, and this is what you'll see Jordan Spieth and Tiger Woods and Cameron Smith do, is that they go back and through the same length, so the backswing and follow through are very similar lengths, and then they stop. They hold it there. You'll see a top snooker player do that as well. Back and through, stop, hold it there. That's commitment. It's a good body language thing. It's going to help you to improve confidence. It's going to help you with your distance control as well. And this consistency is also going to help you to get your putts on line better. When you're changing your finish position, you're going to create some inconsistencies in the stroke too. But more importantly that, you're going to lose confidence in yourself because you're not really committing to the shot properly. It's not good body language. So let's have one practice stroke and work on it. Hold that finish in your practice stroke. You're going to find this quite difficult. If you have a habit of snatching the putter back or dropping it, you can find it challenging to change that habit. But this process is really important if you really want to become a better putter. So one practice stroke, work on it, and let's see if we can recreate that when we hit the ball. Hold the finish, good couple of seconds. I've committed to it. It's nice and stable, and it's much easier to control the line and the distance that way as well. Now, if you're still watching this video, then you probably regularly make one or two or even all three of these mistakes on the putting green. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's not your fault. The fact is that these processes aren't really talked about much in other golfing videos until you start watching Aussie Golf Pros. Now, unfortunately, amateur golfers don't just make mistakes on the putting green, they make mistakes tee to green as well. So watch this video next and get these simple mistakes out of your game too. Now, we've got a free training guide from today's putting lesson. You can download it there, or the link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to your company next week. Are you the best golfer you can be?